Okay, and we are live. Hello, hello, everybody. Happy Thursday. And today we have a special guest. Okay, but before we begin, I would like to welcome you to my page. And if you are watching us live, let us know where you're watching us from. And if you're watching a replay, let me know so that I can catch up with you later. Okay, so today our special guest is coming all the way from Playa del Carmen in Mexico. So she has a very beautiful story that I would just let her tell you her story. It's a beautiful story of joy, of struggles and success. And it's just like I just told her, like, your story can be a movie. So she's originally from New Brunswick, Canada, correct, Miss Deborah? All right. So please help me welcome everybody, Miss Debra McClanaghan.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, Miss Deborah. Just can you let us tell us, your story and how you started the business, or even before that, if you can just maybe a gist of your story to
Okay, so
inspire our
I'll
audience.
give them a little breakdown of me.
Yes.
So, first and foremost, I'm a child of God. I'm a mother of six, a grandmother of 19, and a great grandmother now of 11. And I'm a successful online business owner, but we all didn't start that way. And I've been in the business for 8 years. I had a lot of struggles. I was struggling when I started the business. I had lost my position of many years. They eliminated it. And, I thought I was going to get a job. I thought, I'd have no problem getting a job. I had done that for many years and I was good at what I did and I loved what I did. So, I thought I would get a job. But I had to come to the realization nobody wanted to hire anybody over the age of 60. So, because they want 20 to 40 years service from people. So, but at the same time I started this business, I was going through treatments as well. So, I wasn't just struggling financially, I was struggling with my health as well too. But I needed a change. I needed something I could work at because, when you go for treatments, you may have one good day out of the week, or you may have 5 good days out of the week. You just don't know. So I needed something that I could do because, nobody's going to hire somebody that's ill. And, I'm a health insurance risk for the companies. And, there was a lot of reasons. So, anyways, I started looking online and to see if I could find something online. Was I looking for a business? No, I was just looking for a job, something that I could do. I know people that work online, they don't make a lot of money, but they get paid. And I thought I can do that because I thought if I'm going to take a big cut in pay, then I don't want to be outside because I was living in Alberta, Canada at the time in Fort McMurray. And it gets very cold there in the winter. It can get minus 52 in the winter there, right? So
Yes.
if I'm going to take a big cut in pay, I don't want to be going out in that winter cold weather. So I want something I can do from home. And I searched a long time before I actually found this business. And when I did, I registered on the web page and I watched that 90-minute information session and I knew the first minute I watched it that this business would work because I'm an accountant by trade. So I seen the numbers and I knew it would work. I didn't know how it was going to work because I had struggles. I didn't know how to put a picture on Facebook. I didn't even want to learn social media at that time. But I had a 12-year-old grandson that was adamant that I could do it. So, thank God for him. Love him, Tacey Bear, love him right to death. He's going to be 20 now. And yeah, I know, right? And it was his encouragement that really helped me become successful in this business because he told me, so Grandma, you always told us that whatever we wanted to be in life, we could be. We just had to put our mind to it. He said, no, I'm telling you, because I had said to him, I made the comment, maybe I'm just too old and too stupid. And he did not like that comment at all. So I had to eat my words. So I thank him all the time. I thank God for bringing me to the business, and I thank him for helping me put a picture on Facebook and teaching me how I can do these things, and that I'm not too old to do anything in life, right? So,
Period.
we just have to have the want and the desire and the drive to do it. So that's how I got started with this online business.
Wow, a 13-year-old teaching you how to put a photo
I
on
know.
social media.
Yes.
Right. So you were not really on social media at that time.
Well, I had a Facebook page, but I didn't make it. My kids did. So
I
any of the pictures that were there, they put on. Anything I did, I just typed it in because they felt I needed a Facebook page because I had family on the east coast of Canada and I was living on the west coast. So they thought I needed that to keep in contact. Well, I'd rather had a phone call at the time, right? But anyways, they were all on social media. So I would get a message and I'd answer them back. And that's how I did my Facebook. Or if I seen something I liked, I shared it.
right.
You
You
know,
didn't really create the post, you
no,
just
I
share it.
never created a post ever, ever.
Right.
So yeah,
That's a beautiful story. And I just resonate with you when it comes to like, okay, you're earning good, you have a secure job. That's what we think, that we have a secure job. I work in healthcare, and I've always thought that being in healthcare was a secure job, like, but during the pandemic, there were a lot of people who were laid off, they were not, they were just let go
yeah,
for because there's just not enough patients or whatnot, just crazy to think of. But yeah, I was like, I told myself, oh, I thought I had job security, but I guess not, because I almost lost my job back then.
yeah,
So I said that's why when I started to think about like, what if I cannot be with patients anymore, or maybe what's my next option. So I knew back then that it had to be something online, because everything was online. You have to order stuff online, groceries are being delivered, or you just go pick it up. Everything was online, so I knew I had to do something online back then.
yeah.
So like you have mentioned, like you were not tech savvy. So now that you are a mentor and a coach, and people come and ask you and tell you like, okay, I am not tech savvy, or they would say I'm too old to be on social media, because we do social media marketing and we use different platforms like YouTube, Facebook, TikTok. I don't know if you're on TikTok, and all other social media avenues. So what would you tell them when they have these objections?
Well, first of all, I assured them they're never too old to start. We have people in this business that's older than I am, and they're doing very well. And being tech savvy, the training program that we have now teaches us step by step even how to put a picture on Facebook. So you're never ever too old to do this business. When I started, there was 3 lines of training. That was it when I started the business. So, I had to work outside the box, but now there's no imagination here. Everything you're told step by step, and it's all video. So if you can turn on a video and read, you can build this business, right? And
That's
it shows you exactly step by step what to do. So there's no way of failing now because, we've weeded through all the errors that can be made and have put it there so that anybody can do this business. It doesn't matter how old they are or what education level they have. Because all the degrees I had didn't help me put a picture on Facebook, right? So, that had nothing to do with this business,
right. As
right?
long so this business, like Deborah said, like as long as you're teachable, you're coachable, and you're willing to learn, you're willing to step outside your comfort zone, you will be able to grow. Because like she has mentioned, like the training is step by step. So like once you finish one tab or one lesson, the
Yeah,
next will be unlocked for you. So
yeah,
you can't even like jump, because once you jump, you'll get lost. So it is
yeah.
designed for somebody to just follow every step, and then the next step will be unlocked, and then the next, and the next, and the next. So like all you need to do is to be willing to learn and grow. So
And follow the training to a T. Like
to achieve.
To
or
a
else
T.
or else you'll get restricted.
That's right. Right.
Right. And it will be harder if you jump, you will be like, oh, um how do I do this? You won't be able to do the next step because the previous step was on the training above that. So don't never skip a step.
Exactly.
All right. So another objection though, like when people say I am too busy, I can start a business right now, because like
Oh, I love
um
busy people.
most of most of us are busy. We're all busy. Like I don't know of anybody who's not busy, especially for parents working full time and all the chores and all the after school activities. And you had 6 kids.
Yeah, I didn't have. They were all
You
at
know what busy is.
right. But when I love it when people say I'm too busy, I'll say I love busy people. Those are the people that get things done. They're the people that succeed first. They're the ones that really know because they're busy. So they get in there, they do it. There's no procrastination. They just get in there and do it. And they're the ones that skyrocket quickly because they're busy people. So they know the importance of jumping in and doing it versus not doing anything, right?
Right.
So
Wow.
I love it when they say they're too busy, they can't start. Because you know what? Life never gets on busy. So for busy people, it's always going to be busy. So do you want to be busy the rest of your life, or do you want to start doing something now that can give you the freedom, the time freedom to not be busy, right?
Yes. 100%. So this
100%.
is why, yes, this is why a lot of people in the business like are successful, and one of the main reasons why we started our business, because we don't want to do what we're doing forever, especially
Exactly.
with the, yeah, especially with the economy today, and it's just like everything is so expensive, and you feel like, I feel like I have to work until I'm, well beyond 75 years old, well beyond the retirement age, just to keep up with inflation. So
Exactly.
that's why we are planting seeds now that we still can and able, and because we
Yeah,
don't know what life will throw at us. Miss Deborah will, will
exactly.
will be able to tell us, like, you'll never know when a diagnosis will be given, or when a tragedy happens, or
Exactly.
so now that we are able to invest in our time, our energy, and money, plant that seed so that a time will come that it'll grow and we can just pick the fruit, and we don't have to be busy anymore.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yes.
So I love
How
it when
about,
they say
yes,
I'm too busy.
yes. Very good. That was a really good answer. Like I haven't really like heard it in that way before. Like busy people get things done. That's
Yes,
right.
I love busy people.
Yes. And the third one, when people say I don't have a budget to start a business.
Me either. I didn't either. Yeah, I like that
Yes.
too. I like all these questions because I had, when I, lost my position in many years, a couple of years prior to that, we had a family situation happen and it took all of our savings, all of our investments, and all of our retirement plan. And I'd do it again today. But I was broke. I was living paycheck to paycheck. So you have it all, you lose it all. You have it all, you lose it all. You have it all, whatever, right? So when they say I don't have a budget to start the business, I didn't either. But I found a way. I went out in my garage and I looked around and I thought, that hasn't been used in a year. Why do we still have that? Sell it, Kijiji, sell it, sell it, sell this, sell that. I even sold my treadmill because I thought anything I sell, I can always buy big and better the next time, right? 6 months before anybody in my home even knew the treadmill was gone. So I found a way to do it. And I didn't have a budget to do advertising either, and I thought, well, I've got to find a way to do that. So I thought, I had a quad. I love my quad rides and stuff, and I love it. So I thought, I'll pick up bottles on the trails that I go on. That'll give me gas money and it'll give me ad budget. I'll be able to get out, do what I'm wanting to do, what I love to do, and I'll be able to do kill two birds with one stone. And my kids said, Mom, you're not really doing that, are you? And I said, yes, I am. I'm helping the environment. I'm helping the trails where people goes. And, and I said, I got a little hand thing. I don't have to touch all these things and gloves. And I said, I'm all equipped to do this. So that's how I got my ad budget for the first 6 months of the business. And then
Wow.
the money started coming in, and you just start putting the money back into the business, right? And so, yeah, I don't have a budget for starting. There's always a way. If you want something bad enough, you'll find a way to make it happen.
That's right.
Right?
100%.
If
Miss
you want
Deborah.
it bad enough.
Yeah. Right. So, maybe our audience doesn't know what a quad is. It is a very sporty
ATV.
piece of vehicle that
Yeah.
you can go in the rough roads. So, if you don't mind my asking, how old were you when you were riding that quad, picking up bottles along the way with your reacher?
60. I'm 60 years old, but I have been riding quads and dirt bikes and all those things from a very young child because my dad was a guide and we had lived in the country and on a lake. So we had all of those kind of toys growing up, right? So I still have the love for those today.
Oh, that's a very like adventurous, it's very adventurous for you to be 60 and out on a quad, making a way to get the finances in
Yes,
order to start a business. And once you start the business, once you get it rolling, you kind of just reinvest whatever you earn from the business,
that's right.
reimburse, uh, re, re and then just grow it from there, and then a time will come that you will have more income, and then you
And
know
because when this business starts growing, you
Mhm.
can't stop it. There's no way of stopping it. It's going to grow whether you are a part of it or not. So, why not be there when the growth starts and take the portion that you've earned from your efforts? And that's one thing I like about this business. You're paid on your own efforts.
Right,
You're not paid for something I do,
right.
or something your mentor, your coach does, or somebody else. It's what you do. You get paid. I have people in my group that make a lot more money than I do right now, and I absolutely love that. I mean,
Right.
goal, right? Because
Yes,
our people excel past us. That's awesome.
that is a beautiful thing about this
Right?
business. I know our audience have heard this before, with coaches Dave and Roxanne. When people under us are doing better than us, we are
Yes,
here to help people who are, came after us. But when we see them thrive and grow and do better than us, we
yes.
celebrate it. It's
That's
not
right.
like the corporate world where you want to be on top, and you just like, the crab mentality where you pull people down so you can be on top.
Yeah,
It's just not that way
not
here.
that way at all.
Yeah, it's so different,
Yes.
from any other kind of business where we celebrate people who
Yeah,
are
and we
just like,
have to, and we're very legit. We get like in Canada T4A at the end of the year. The US gets a 1099, and whatever other countries get their information slips from the company that you have to pay your taxes. We have to pay
yes,
taxes on the money we earn. So,
that's
um,
right.
and we even teach you how to set up and prepare for that. So
Yes, you
we have,
gotta set up. You
yeah,
gotta set aside some monies to
that's
pay
right.
to pay your taxes. But we are legit. We're registered. You
Yes.
will need to use your TIN, your SSN, wherever you're located. So yeah, you're registered, and IRS and whoever's taxing you knows how much you're earning from the business.
Exactly.
So
No.
yep, we are legit. So you have mentioned, like, one of the joys is to have people under you just thrive.
Oh,
So
I love it. It's
yes,
like
what
a proud mama moment for me. I
I
don't know,
know.
proud grandma, proud moment. Like when I see them doing so well, like it just melts my heart because that was the goal when these people started. Like, I want to see them succeed. And
Yes,
when they excel over above that, that is so awesome.
wonderful. Other than that, what about the business have you enjoyed the most?
The people, the money's great, but I love the people. Like I've never met anybody in this business that is negative or complaining. Everybody is positive and nice things to say, right? You go to
Yes.
work for a job and you go in and you say good morning and it's like colorful language. Oh, that's good about it. So
Right.
you get, right? Exactly.
Yes. Every
People
day.
don't want to be at a job.
Hmm.
They don't want to be there. And that's sad because they don't excel at their work if they don't want to be there. You have to love what you're doing,
Wonderful.
right?
You got, yes, 100%. Like
Not
I've been saying
love.
100% so many times. I totally agree. You
Yes.
gotta love. If you see Miss Deborah's page or my page, like you can see how much we just enjoy and enjoy the process. Of
Yeah.
course, it's not always easy peasy. It's not always happy. We do have our trials. We do have our struggles in the business, like any other business, like any
And
other job. There's always the ups and downs, but it's that mindset where you just push through and you just continue doing what you
yeah,
have to do. And
you
you
get
know
upset or if you get, discouraged, you don't have to stay in your own little shell and stay discouraged. Just reach out to somebody that in the business. Everybody
right.
is willing to talk with a smile on their face, right?
That's right. Yeah. Like
All
I said, when I first started 2 years ago, that was one of the things. My first go live, I did say, like, I was just so amazed how um the community is, like, everybody's there to support each other. Everybody's there to kind of lift you up and just support your posts and all that. So it's just an amazing community. Now,
yes,
like we have mentioned, we also have our struggles. So what was the most challenging part for you in the business?
putting the picture on Facebook, finding an ad that worked. But you know what? I really, I didn't know how to put a picture on Facebook. So when I got to the point that I was making my ads, they taught me what to do. And Darren had said to me, just write your story. Write your story. Put it as an ad. And I thought, nobody wants to hear about my bad things that happened to me in life. People don't want to hear that. He said, I'm telling you, write your story. Write it from the heart. So I wrote my story. I put it on as an ad and didn't do anything for a while. And I thought, see, people don't want to hear my story. But you know what? I never went in. I even had a spelling error in it. And I never went in and corrected it. I never changed anything. And then it went boom. That same ad took me to 6A2.
Wow.
I
From
know,
the beginning.
from the beginning.
Wow. That's
So
amazing.
I tell people, tell your story. Our pain and our suffering, people understand, they relate to, because we're not the only ones that have had situations in our lives. It has happened to a lot of us. And it's amazing how many people relate to it. So you know what? And that's what our business is about, is attraction marketing. So yes, tell your story, right?
Right.
Tell your story.
Wow.
Tell why you started this business.
That's right. And that is why that is the number one question. One of the number one questions that I ask during all my interviews is that why? Why did you start your business? And as I was reading Miss Deborah's story, it even brought tears to my eyes because, like, she just has a very touching story, a story of God's faithfulness in her life. And the beautiful thing is that she never gave up. So
No.
many things have happened. Get to, go to Miss Deborah's page, read her story, listen to her story. It's such a beautiful, touching, and inspiring story. And it would take a long time for us to share that story. So I would
Yes,
encourage
it
you to go
would.
to her page and,
But just
so,
don't let
um,
anybody steal your dream.
that's
Our
right.
family, our friends, our relatives, our coworkers, our bosses, they can all steal our dreams. And we cannot let someone else steal our dreams. I don't care how old you are. I had the same dream of living in Mexico when I was a teenager to when I moved here in 2018. And because of this business, it made it possible for me to be able to live here. And I
Right.
thank God every day for that.
This is a dream come true for
Right?
Miss Deborah to be able to live in Mexico.
Yes.
in the tropics compared to the what, the negative 50 degrees Fahrenheit.
Exactly,
You guys
right?
convert it to Celsius for everyone out there in the world.
Right.
It's just really, really cold
Yeah.
in
Very
Canada.
cool.
Yep.
Very cool.
So
And
now
I
she's
love it.
experiencing the beaches and the palm trees and just the tropics. That's why that explains her outfit right now.
Exactly. And this is like, and it's warm. It's warm outside.
It's warm outside.
Yeah,
So
it's warm outside. But for a month, I've had my family here visiting. They just went home last week. The last of them went home last week. And it's amazing because, my family can come here where, maybe they couldn't have afforded before to come to Mexico. But because mama lives here, they can come and stay with mom. And it saves them a lot of money, right?
right, there you go. So anybody, if you want to visit, no, just kidding.
And my grandchildren too. So have
All right. So Miss Deborah has an appointment, and so we just want to wrap this up. And it was just a beautiful, beautiful time. I would like to stay here and ask more questions, but we will wrap this up. And so I just one more question: when is the best time to start an online, Miss Debbie, online
yesterday.
business? Yesterday, yes. Mhm.
Don't wait until tomorrow because tomorrow's not promised. Start right now. There's no better time than right now.
There you
Register on Joanne's website with your name and the best email address, and you'll watch a 90-minute information session, and you will know after you do that whether this business is for you or not. So
That's
you can't make a decision until you watch that 90-minute information session to know if this is something you want to pursue or not.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Miss Deborah. And you just
No,
like I'm just so blessed to have you here today. And thank you, thank you, thank you. And you have a blessed day. And
thank
you
you.
know, thank you, thank you. All right,
God bless.
guys. For everybody out there who has been inspired by Miss Deborah's story, and if you want to just if you have any questions, just write it on the comment section below, and we'll get back to you, and as soon as possible. And like Miss Deborah said, it, you've got nothing to lose. All you have to do is to write your name and email address at www.joanneandstevefry.com, and we'll send the information to you immediately.
Yeah.
Okay? All right, guys. Have a blessed Thursday.
Thank you. God
Yes,
bless.
Miss Deborah. Bye. God bless you
Bye.
all.
Bye bye.